Hey everyone, it's Monday, so we have a little video for you folks on leadership. And the last couple of weeks we've really been talking about our approach to how we tackle our weeks and the mindset that we have. And so today, just a quick video to talk to you a little bit about the value and power of consistency. And so we talked a little bit about habits last week. But part of what we wanted to talk about this week is just that consistent over and over again to be able to generate those habits. We're going to talk a little bit about focus. We're going to talk about how consistency builds trust. And so we're just going to tackle it right now. So before we do though, Chris isn't feeling too good, so she's not going to join us in this video this week. A little under the weather. Gets to go to the doctor tomorrow, so hopefully we hear some good things. But yeah. So when we have consistency, what we're looking for is the generation of habits, and the habits come from whatever we've put our goals that we want to accomplish in any given week or task or project that we're working on. And so if we develop a habit that comes from our consistency, we partake in it every single day, every single hour, depending on what it is that we're trying to do. And what we have to do is make sure that we're focusing in on our highest priorities and our highest goals that we want, and we're not going to allow other items or tasks to be able to influence this as we try to go forward in our consistency and what we're approaching. And so what we're looking for in this is it just really comes down to the accountability on ourselves, how we're going to hold ourselves accountable to our approach on an everyday basis. What we're doing. So we talked a little bit last week about our mindset and, what are we doing inside of our mindset and setting ourselves up for success, and I talked about, being consistent in nightly setting out your goals, planning out your day, how quick, when you're getting up, what's your time, what's your life look like in that regards, the healthy habits that you have, that's what we're talking about. And we want to be consistent in that. So consistency helps to create habits. The second thing is it helps to generate focus. And it really, if we're consistent, we have razor-like focus in what we want to do, right? So we've talked about already in this little conversation that consistency creates habits, and that we're chasing after our highest priorities and our highest goals. Consistency also allows us to have that razor-like focus to go after these goals and tasks that we want to do or accomplish in any given day or week or month or plan. So what we're trying to do is consistently look at what we're doing inside of our habits, and that allows us to focus specifically on what we're going after. You think about an animal chasing after its prey. It's focused. It's going to go after that. It's going to get it. It doesn't allow something else that comes and takes away, it distracts it. It doesn't allow for that. It's going right after its prey, and it's going to get it with razor-like focus. So that's something to think about. The other thing that consistency does, especially when we're talking about network marketing and social media and all that kind of stuff, is it generates trust. And so if you're consistent in what you're doing in your social media or your network marketing, your customer or your person that you're working with is going to be able to recognize that you're being consistent. This isn't just one-off. It isn't haphazard. It's you're very focused on what you're doing and what you want, the information that you want to get to them. And so they understand that. And if you're consistent in it over and over and over again, it builds more and more trust, right? So take, for example, you go to whatever market that you go to be able to get your groceries, right? And if you go there and they're consistently giving you customer service, really good customer service, you build the trust with them and you're going to go back to them. So it's the same thing with your network marketing or your social media. As long as you're building that consistently, they're going to start to be able to trust you. And in fact, they're going to actually want to go and find out what you're posting next or what your information that's come out next. They're going to chase after you to get that information based on your consistency and what you're doing. So just part of the understanding of, at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, how do I get consistent? What do I need to do? So I think a couple things real quick to think about when it comes to consistency and what you're doing is you just have to be honest with yourself. You got to look at your time and what it's going to allow you to do. We've talked about time management already in our couple Mondays together, but now it would be really focusing in on the time that you can commit to consistently doing whatever it is. So let's stay in the lane of social media posts or that kind of stuff. How much time can you commit in your day? Look at your day, look at your allotment. How much time are you going to specifically put towards doing this that allows you to be consistent? If you don't organize that time, you don't schedule that time, you won't do it, and then you won't be consistent. And then your viewers or whoever that you're trying to attract, a customer or whatever it is not going to see that consistency, and they're not going to return. I remember when when apps started to become really popular, and people, it seemed like apps are being created everywhere. And I remember seeing someone at a conference speak about an app when it came to the athletics that I'm involved in quite a bit. And they basically said that, you need to have that app really, really tight and working well, because people will put that app on their phone or whatever device they have. And if it's not one that they feel engaged in, they'll delete it and they'll never download it again. Now that's a little bit extreme, but it's true, right? A lot of people, if you think about you putting apps on your phone, if it's not consistent and it doesn't seem to be focused on what you're wanting it to accomplish, when people delete it, you don't even bother putting it back on again. So that's something to think about as well. Another quote that Chris shared with me today was, you make a plan and then you make the plan work, right? And so you've got to go and look at how you're going to make that plan and how you're going to make it work. And we've talked about being consistent. Aristotle's quote says, "We are what we repeatedly do," and then excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So don't just act out the parts of what you want to do in your plan, actually execute them. So we'll see you next week.